Hey guys, Blazen here, and today, in this video, I figured I'd go through all the weapons in patch 9, more specifically the firearms, not so much the melee weapons. I'd figure I'd go through all of them and just give my quick thoughts and opinions on how I feel about them right now, and of course show you the builds. So with that said, let's get straight to it. Starting off with the auto bolt rifle, I'm surprised this gun didn't get a buff of any kind in patch 9, because I feel like it does, like it still needs a buff. Like this gun is still good against Tyranids, but I don't find it to be as good against Chaos. Even though, despite Saber always saying, oh, all of our guns are being used in absolute difficulty, and that means every gun's viable, which is like, you know, not even remotely true. And you know, they're clearly looking at like an Excel sheet or some shit, and they're probably not playing their own game, or maybe they have no one testing their game as of right now. I feel like looking at an Excel sheet does not tell the full story of, you know, what goes on in the actual game. But yeah, the auto bolt rifle is still just mid, and I wish it got a damage buff of some sort. But as of right now, I'm using the accuracy variant, and I always have for quite a while now. And here's the perk tree for it that I have set up for it. Basically an accuracy buff when firing from the hip, a damage buff. This is a weird description. It says close combat, but I don't know. The description's weird. So like enemies at a distance of no more than 15 meters take 50% more damage. Wouldn't it say like enemies within 15 meters take 50% more damage? Couldn't they just have worded like that? I don't know. And then we have got fast reload, because why not? And then we just, you know, headshot damage increases. You know, basically anything to increase its damage, because this is not the most damaging gun. You know, extended magazine and ammo, you know, this gun's already like, you know, already has huge like amount of ammo. I feel like it doesn't really need more ammo perks. Although we do miss out on another Divine Might, but oh well. And then these two I don't find that useful, just because again, this gun needs damage. So that's pretty much my quick thoughts on the auto bolt rifle. I wish it got a damage buff. The bolt rifle, now this is the gun that got buffed this patch. I use the accuracy variant. I believe essentially what happened to a lot of guns is basically, I think the ammo variants of a lot of guns got more ammo or something. The damage variants I know got like more damage, and then at some of the accuracy variants, like I know the bolt rifle here got like more headshot damage specifically. And yeah, I definitely feel it when using this. And as for the perk tree, this is how I have it set up right now. Basically my mindset when it comes to these builds is just always try to go for damage. You know, headshot damage. This is not that, well, this one has a requirement, but you know, headshot damage. A couple reloads, recoupment. This is always a good perk if you're able to get it. Pretty good new perk that they introduced back in like patch 8 or whatever. And then tactical precision. But as usual with this perk, I always make sure you know, non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. I always make sure I get a perk that increases 10% damage, so it counterbalances each other out. But yeah, it's just all damage, and then some ammo, and extended mag. So that's the build for the bolt rifle. Not much to be said. Moving on to the heavy bolt rifle. This gun I feel like is not bad, but I feel like it's falling off a little bit. It's still fun to use. But once again, I use the accuracy variant. And then this is the build I have for it. Again, just more damage, wherever I can get it. Very similar to the bolt rifle. Although I think, yeah, like see, it's pretty similar. I got tactical precision again, and of course I always get Divine Might to make up for it. So those are pretty much my thoughts on the heavy bolt rifle. I wish it got more base damage, very similar to the auto bolt rifle. I think these two guns need more damage, or at least a little bit more. I think the bolt rifle, whatever buff it got with its headshot multiplier, it's pretty good. Moving on to the Stalker bolt rifle. On tactical, which I use the rate of fire variant, which did get even faster. It used to be 2+, now it's 3+. It's faster. Why is it faster? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it was unnecessary. This gun was already good. And then moving on to the perk tree, this is what I have right now. I pretty much just went almost straight across to the bottom. I did not get the last one because it says enemies at a distance of more than 25 meters. You know, I normally don't get these because of the distance requirement. So I'd rather just get, you know, headshot damage and more headshot damage than more damage. The increased capacity and reloaded restoration really helps too. Moving on to the bolt carbine. On tactical, when I use again the accuracy variant, of course the SMG version, and this is the perk tree I have for it. And again, the main goal is always to build up for damage. More damage here, headshot damage, mag increase, damage, ammo that's not as good but still ammo, recoil reduction, and more damage. This gun shreds. But I'm glad they didn't touch it because, well, it doesn't need to be touched. It's already a good gun. Moving on to the Plasma Incinerator. I always like to call it the Plasma Rifle. And I do use the rate of fire variant. This is the perk tree I have for it at the moment. As of this patch, got an explosion radius, damage, ammo, a projectile speed increase, blast radius, projectile speed increase again, more ammo, another way to get damage, some cooling, shots charge 50% faster, which is nice, efficient charge, which is also nice, and then great might. And finally we come to the Melta Rifle, which I don't think this gun ever had a rate of fire variant, but now it does as of this patch. I've been trying it out, but I believe it did get a damage decrease a little bit. I don't know, but either way, I'm still experimenting with this one. I haven't used it too much, but I'm going to keep testing it out. And this is the perk tree I have for it at the moment. For a while, I used to have a magazine increase, and then after this patch, taking another look at it, I realized I think this perk is much better. Performing a finisher on a major level enemy or higher with this weapon restores ammo by 1. This is basically Emperor's Vengeance, that one perk from Tactical, but like it's tied to the gun. I don't use the Melta Rifle too often, but when I took a look at the perk tree again and I realized this was here, I now chose it, and so I went down this path, and then I went back up to my usual path. Because before I had it basically like a straight line, but this is my setup right now, and yeah, those are my setups as of patch 9. So quick recap: Melta Rifle, rate of fire, here's the patch, Plasma Incinerator, rate of fire, Bolt Carbine, accuracy, Stalker Bolt Rifle, rate of fire, Heavy Bolt Rifle, accuracy, Bolt Rifle, accuracy, and Auto Bolt Rifle, accuracy. So those are the majority of the primaries. Let's move on to the secondaries. So here we are on the secondaries. On Tactical, still on Tactical, I've been desperately trying to make the bolt pistol work. I'm experimenting with the damage version, and I do think it's pretty good, but the problem is you lose that accuracy. I'm starting to think that maybe Saber should just buff the shit out of the accuracy, like the accuracy variant even more, so that way you can, you know, hit shots at a faster rate more easily. Or straight damage buff, you know, that could work too. And here's a perk tree. It basically has never changed since the last time I showed it. Those are my thoughts on the bolt pistol. It definitely deserves another either damage buff or an accuracy buff. Most likely a damage buff. Like, it still needs that. Moving on to the heavy bolt pistol. I think all they did was buff the damage variant, which I have not tried. And, you know, there's no reason to try it. I just use the accuracy variant. This gun's already good, and it's always been good. And here's the perk tree I have for it. You can watch my one video where I compared the bolt pistol and heavy bolt pistol. I explain why I have this build the way it is. Same with the bolt pistol. And finally, here we are with the plasma pistol. On Tactical, I use the rate of fire variant, which for some reason they buffed. I don't know why. It didn't need a buff, but okay. But yeah, the rate of fire variant now just fires even faster, and here's the perk tree I have. Now, I did used to have Great Might, but I've kind of switched over my path heating here for a blast radius increase. I figured that'd be more worth it, especially in siege mode when there's like tons of enemies on screen. But I don't know, I haven't figured out what I like more yet. But overall, I mean, it's the plasma pistol, it's always been good. Let's move on to more weapons. We're now on Vanguard. Let's talk about the Instigator Bolt Carbine. I believe the accuracy variant got a headshot damage increase. Oh, and something else I like about the update, or this latest update, is that now there's a headshot multiplier section we can actually see. So that's a really nice quality of life. But on Vanguard, as of right now, for pretty much all of the primaries, I actually use the ammo variant. Because the number one thing I feel like Vanguard struggles with is ammo. So I just use the ammo variant. And here's the perk tree I have for it, same thing. I always try to maximize ammo, so a magazine increase. Reloaded Restoration is a really good perk. So thankfully the Instigator Bolt Carbine has it. Damage increase, which is nice. More ammo, damage, recoupment, which is also nice, especially for Vanguard, who only has 2 armor segments, so another way to get armor is nice. Here's Tactical Precision, but again, it was already made out that, where is it? Oh, here, with Divine Might. That's usually what I like to do. Headshot damage increase, and then we just go down here just because, hey, we have spare points, and, you know, this is just all we can get. This doesn't really help much. So that's the Instigator Bolt Carbine. Overall, it's good. As for the Marksman bolt carbine, which I guess I might as well talk about it here on the Vanguard, I believe they did buff the accuracy variant to have an increased headshot damage. I'm pretty sure it's the only thing they buffed about it. I have not tried it yet, but this is Vanguard, so of course I'm just going to use the ammo variant. And the perk tree isn't different here. It's the same. I know people have been commenting about it, but yeah, we do need like individual loadouts or like different perk setups for depending on their class. That would be nice. Moving on to the Occulus bolt carbine. I used to use the accuracy variant for a long time, and then, you know, I switched to ammo because, again, Vanguard struggles with ammo. But since the accuracy variant got buffed, I've been thinking about going back to give it another go. But as of right now, I'm just sticking with the ammo variant. And here's the perk tree I have for it. I go down the bottom here. I don't get this because, you know, once again, there's a 25 meter requirement. So I'd rather just get something that's guaranteed. Extended mag increase, more damage. This is magazine restoration, and I wish it was ammo restoration or whatever, the other one. Into more ammo, into damage, headshot damage, and into able damage. After using a cast ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. This is definitely useful for Vanguard. And then there's a Melta Rifle, which, you know, well, in the case of the Vanguard, I do use the ammo variant instead. Because again, I think that's the number one thing that Vanguard struggled with, it's ammo. And then just a quick thoughts on the secondaries. As of right now, the same thing for pretty much a majority of the secondaries. I use the ammo variant. I guess let's talk about the Inferno bolt pistol. So yeah, Vanguard, I do use the ammo variant, and this is the perk tree I have for it as of right now. I actually haven't tried it too much since this patch 9, so I definitely have to try it more. And then we are with the Neo-Volkite Pistol. On Vanguard, I use the ammo variant, and this is the perk tree I have set up for it. This gun did get buff. I think it got like a contested health buff. And this gun overall has been getting a little, it's been getting better little by little as each time they buff it. I feel like it's not perfect, but it's getting there. Those are my thoughts on Inferno and Neo-Volkite Pistol. Moving on to the sniper class, let's talk about the two snipers. And I guess as a quick disclaimer, I don't play sniper too much. It is my least played class, but with the bolt sniper rifle here, I have been currently still using the ammo variant, and this is the perk tree I have set up for it. I basically just try to get more ammo. If I get damage along the way, then, you know, that's nice. I don't have a lot to say about the bolt sniper rifle. It's good, and in my opinion, just try and build for ammo, which is what I did here. Same goes for the Lost Fusil, same thing. I use the ammo variant, and I try to build for ammo. You know, this is the build I have for it. And lastly, we come to heavy. When it comes to the heavy bolter, the best variant is still the accuracy variant. I remember for a long time I've been using the damage variant, and then I switched to accuracy and I never went back. And this is the perk tree I have set up for it. Basically, I feel like these two perks don't do much, although this one's nice when you get it to proc. But I figured contingency plan might happen to you more often. And then basically the goal was to try to get, you know, the increased capacity. I've always loved this gun. It's one of my favorites. Moving on to the heavy plasma incinerator, or I personally like to call it the plasma mortar. On heavy, I use the rate of fire variant, and then this is my perk tree for it. This is a gun I personally don't use too often. I'm definitely, when I play heavy, I'm either a heavy bolter or multi-melta guy. So to be honest, I don't have a lot to say about the heavy plasma incinerator. Which, speaking of the multi-melta, this is the last one. I have been using the rate of fire variant. I've been sticking with it for quite a long time. Here's the perk tree I have set up for it. I actually haven't decided which one's better, elite restoration or decisive reload. But I'm not sure if that matters too much, because I think at the end of the day you'd want to get this, the increased capacity, because the multi-melta suffers with ammo. So you'd want to get ammo, especially since I use the rate of fire variant, I'd want to get ammo back as much as I can. And I mean, yeah, this is my setup for the multi-melta. I mean, it's always been a good gun. And to quickly mention, when it comes to the assault and Bulwark class, when it comes to the pistols, I always use the ammo variant, just because, you know, this is your only gun when you're playing these two classes, so you might as well go for the ammo variant of whatever pistol of you're choosing, at least in my opinion. And then when it comes to the sniper secondaries, I actually, in sniper's case, I do go for the accuracy variant when it comes to the pistols. Well, the Inferno Pistol, I go for the fire rate and range variant. And then for heavy, when it comes to the pistols, I use ammo. And those are pretty much my perk setups for each weapon. I didn't talk about melee weapons or show melee weapons off in this video, just because I feel like at least with my perk setups, they haven't changed even after this patch, with patch 9. Although it's funny, I find it funny about their wording, though, when I was reading the patch notes for patch 9 saying like, oh, balance, should get average damage and or whatever, and like block should have the highest damage with slowest swing speed, and you know, like fencing should be like the weakest damage. And it's kind of funny because I'm pretty sure I said something similar in an old video quite a while ago, back in like patch 7, something like that. I'll probably refer to the video and, you know, link it down below if you want to see that. But it's funny about the wording. It's just like, did they come up with that themselves, or did, you know, are they watching us? I don't mean just me. I mean like us, you know, for those of us that make Space Marine 2 videos. So, anyways, I'm pretty much done. Like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.